Welcome to the Chemical Burrito YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about SD cards, micro SD cards specifically. And if you're into retro gaming and emulation handhelds or just handhelds in general, you will certainly be faced with the need to buy a micro SD card. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I've had really good luck with SanDisk cards. I recommend SanDisk Extreme if you can get it, or SanDisk Ultra if you want to save a little bit of money. But the bigger the better for most of these handhelds. And myself, I usually try to buy the SanDisk Extreme. Unfortunately, you go to Amazon or other retailers. I'll use Amazon because I buy a lot of stuff out of Amazon. And you go and you look at your memory cards and you go, oh my gosh, $89.99 for SanDisk Extreme. And hey, for some of these handhelds, that's almost the price of the handheld. So storage, good storage isn't necessarily cheap, although you can certainly get smaller cards on sale for a much more reasonable price. But $89, $90 here, and you say, oh, well, can I score something a little cheaper? So you go and you look at the SanDisk Ultras, which are a little bit slower, and you can save some money here. And you can probably get deals on these later. I don't think Amazon really has these on sale at all right now as I'm recording this video. So 8% and 6% off list is not a big discount. So you go looking around, well, is there anything I can get that's cheaper? And you run across something like this. The whatever brand this is, it's no name really, and it is $21.99. Or if it's not a no name, it's basically just actually not a real brand, but $21.99 for 1 terabyte of storage. And you go, oh, that's almost too good to be true. I mean, that's way cheaper than even the lesser expensive of the SanDisks. So you might wonder, well, how do they sell a terabyte of memory this cheap? And usually for this, the answer is that they're not selling you a terabyte of memory. They're just selling you a card that's painted to look like it has a terabyte of memory. But in reality, it's a much smaller card, probably something like a 64 gig card or maybe a 128 gig card if you're lucky. And you might wonder, now wait a minute, this card's got a lot of good reviews. It's 4.7 stars. It's got at least 28 reviews. And you might wonder, well, how is it that they're selling a card that is a fake, yet they're getting so many good reviews? So that's what I want to look at today. So I have pulled up the customer reviews for this quote 1 terabyte card, and you can see, oh, a pleasant surprise, fast and good quality, adequate depending on use case. This one wasn't very impressed with it, only gave it 3 stars, but let's go down and look at the reviews. One of the things you might notice is a lot of these are Vine customer review of free products. Vine is an Amazon program where reviewers that have done a lot of reviews in the past can essentially get some products sent to them by Amazon for them to review. And they basically get to keep the products. Now, you might look at these reviews and go, well, okay, are they like shilling for Amazon here? I was like, oh, probably not. They just got this product. And they said, oh, well, this surprised me in a good way. I tested it by copying downloads folder to see how fast it was. Turned out to be fast enough. Here, works great. I needed a card for my GoPro, and this one works just fine. Works, simple. And you wonder, okay, well, all these people are getting this card, and why is it getting such good reviews if what I'm saying is true and it's probably a fake? Well, let's scroll down a little further and notice this review right here. This is your standard micro SD card in 64 gigabyte size. I got this for my retro handheld and it works well. So, wait a minute, this is a review underneath a 1 terabyte card. But oh, this reviewer actually noticed So good on them. They may not be aware of what the scam is here, but they at least noticed, hey, after I reviewed this card, now it's a 1 terabyte card priced at $26 instead of say a 64 gigabyte card, which is what this reviewer actually received. And what I would bet that every other one of these Vine customer reviewers received was a 64 gigabyte card that actually was a 64 gigabyte card. And it was probably priced at $8 or $9 or something like that. So these people are giving a good review of a cheap 64 gigabyte card that probably works fine. It is probably not fast, it's probably pretty slow, but it's at least an actual 64 gigabyte card. So here we go again. Here's another one talking about the 20 megabyte read speed, and they're talking about, oh, it'll probably work fine in a GoPro, but it's back here again. Oh, it's noticeable that this 64 gigabyte SD card is similar to other ones that could be purchased on eBay. So, I'm sorry, eBay, not Amazon. And here we have right there a picture that shows, oh, it's a 64 gigabyte card that this reviewer got. And, you see that the ones that mention a capacity at all so far here are all talking about a 64 gigabyte card. Here's one that copied 9.47 gigabytes of data to the file, which is going to work fine on a 64 gigabyte card. Now, so this is almost certainly 64 gigabytes as well. You see all these positive reviews here. The ones that mention the size is, oh, it's 64 gigabytes. This 64 gigabyte memory card. So now you're seeing how these cards are getting such good reviews, even if they might be fake, because the reviews are not even coming from this card. Now, here's one that says not compatible with Switch. Now, what's interesting about that review? One is that it is not a Vine review. This person actually bought this product, and you can actually filter on Amazon to see what they will do is they will list several different SD cards under the same listing, and they list them as variants. So I'm going to say, oh, show only reviews for the 1 terabyte one. You notice the 1 terabyte card actually only has one review. And this review actually says not compatible with Switch. This card seems to work and is able to download Switch games. However, large files are often corrupted and require deleting and re-downloading. The reason for that is it's a fake card. What's happening is the card is reporting, because they've set the card to work this way. The card is reporting that it has 1 terabyte of storage, and it will happily quick format. And what will happen is, as long as you download less than 64 gigabytes, then the card will work. But once you get above that, it will start corrupting files because it's trying to write to storage that's not even there. And this, apparently the only person that has reviewed the actual 1 terabyte card is basically telling us that the card doesn't work because large files are corrupted and require deleting and re-downloading. So this person's probably not actually storing a terabyte on this card. It's just that, hey, all the when he downloads a new game, the old game that's on the card is corrupted because the new game he downloaded just overwrote the old one. So is this card too good to be true? Well, almost certainly, yes. This is almost certainly a fake card. The price is way too low. And you notice that the only legitimate review on here is not that Vine reviews are not legitimate, it's just that these Vine reviewers were reviewing a completely different product. But due to the way Amazon reviews work, you can actually get reviews for a different product onto one that is not so good. Like this quote 1 terabyte card that is almost certainly not for the $21.99 asking price. Now, you might say, how can I get a card without getting a fake like this one almost certainly is? Of course, I would say certainly stick to the known brands. I'm not putting my game collections on just junk, no-name cards because, well, they're probably crap. Even if they're the legitimate size, they're still probably not that good. And another thing to look for is if you look at this card, of course, it's $90, but notice it says shipped from and sold by Amazon.com. The ships from is not important. Even a scam card can actually be sent from Amazon's warehouse, because what a lot of sellers will do is they will ship products to Amazon and then Amazon takes care of the shipping to customers. The key is also sold by Amazon.com. So if you see that, it's probably less likely a scam. So this card here is priced, well, unfortunately, about what you would expect a 1 terabyte card to be priced. And it's shipped from and sold by Amazon. And I'll get that. I'll put it in my handheld. I'll put it in my Steam Deck or whatever, and it's going to work fine. The SanDisk Ultra here, also sold by Amazon.com, not just shipped from. And this one will work fine too, just a little slower. Unfortunately, it's also priced as a 1 terabyte card normally is. This one right here, I'm not going to scroll down because I'm not going to reveal the store name, but if you look down here at the bottom, it says ships from Amazon. But if you scroll down a little bit, and if you look this card up on Amazon, you can do it yourself, you'll notice it's not sold by Amazon.com. This seller has basically just stockpiled these cards at Amazon's warehouse and is having Amazon take care of the fulfillment. So, $21.99, brand you've never heard of, 1 terabyte for $21.99. Yeah, this is almost certainly too good to be true, and I would certainly avoid this card. I suspect that what's going to happen, all these reviews are fairly new, is that eventually what will happen is once some of these people that have actually bought this card start realizing that it doesn't work, then it'll get bad reviews, it'll get returned, and it'll disappear on Amazon, only to be replaced with another listing that looks almost exactly like this for a ridiculously low price. So if you're buying micro SD cards for your retro handheld, just use some caution. If something is too good to be true, if it looks that way, it probably is. And stick to ships from and sold by Amazon. Stick to name brand SD cards, SanDisk, Samsung, Lexar. All these are really good choices. It's just not worth the risk to buy one of these cheaper no names, and particularly if it offers a capacity that seems to be way too high for the price. Well, thank you for watching this video. If you have any comments, please leave them for me, and I will see you in the next video where we'll probably be doing a little bit more game testing.